Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 13-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. So the first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they found a way to be successful with it.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
Tackled by Isaiah Simmons.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. They'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. 97 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he completes this one to Terry McLaurin. Touchdown, Washington! Terry McLaurin halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Commanders sure look like they're going to be moving to 8-1 as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead now up to 14. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. From the end zone, here comes Williams.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to...
He's got a man complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
The nice thing is that you've still got all your timeouts, so the middle of the field, that should still be an option, especially if you see the defenders pinching the sideline. You can run a little seam route right here and pick up some nice yardage.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. He'll drop to throw. Toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot. Not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. And they take a knee. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Let's go.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Throwing his Lance on third down.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And some space here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. A big pickup there. Without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Washington about to close this one out as they are down to a knee.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
So a victory here for the Commanders.
And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Washington,
they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Dallas, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants.